Welcome to on tonight's Clubhouse Live, we welcome back one of our anchor guests. Matthew Golden is here. The Packers rallied to nip the Cardinals. We'll get Matthew's thoughts on the comeback victory in the desert. We'll also check in with Matthew on how he feels his rookie season is going so far. Plus, we've got a spooktacular Clubhouse Live challenge ready to go. It's one of our favorites, and we know it's one of yours too. All right, it's time to get started. Hey, Matthew, come on in.
Hey everybody, good Monday evening. Welcome back to the Fox Club. As always, we're hanging out inside Neuroscience Group Field at Fox City Stadium here in Grand Chute, Wisconsin. This is the home of the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, but it's also the home to Clubhouse Live. I'm Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin and the Post Crescent. We got great energy here. It's a Victory Monday. How's everybody feeling on this beautiful fall evening? You're feeling pretty good too, Viking fan, huh? What are you clapping about? What are you clapping about? Your team lost. He's still here. Yes, he's a closet Packers fan for sure. So, before we get going, we got to give it up to our high fivers, as we like to call them. They always make sure that the guys get in safe and sound. And we got a special group of ladies here tonight. They are our high school team spotlight tonight. They are members of the state-bound Neenah girls tennis team. They're right over there. They're getting ready. They're getting ready for Madison, and we will get to know more about the Rockets later on in the show. They're going to be an integral part of the show in many ways, so looking forward to that. All right, we got a lot to talk about. I know you guys love this. Packers 27, Cardinals 23, right? You love that, don't you? A 10-play, 48-yard drive ended with Josh Jacobs scoring on a 1-yard touchdown plunge with 1:50 remaining in the game, and that proved to be the decisive score as the Packers rally to top those spunky Cardinals in Sunday's duel in the desert. That's what we're calling it. How about Josh Jacobs, right? What a game for Josh Jacobs, playing through a calf injury. Rushed for a pair of touchdowns. Jordan Love connected with Tucker Kraft for another touchdown. And the Packers offense got the spark it needed in the second half to win their second straight. Micah Parsons, did you guys see that guy yesterday? He had his best game in a Green Bay uniform with 3 sacks. First time in his career for him. And his final sack might have been the biggest of them all, a key 9-yard loss in the Cardinals' final drive of the game. Parsons finished with 5 tackles, including 4 for a loss, 10 pressures as well. Crazy game. And how about that kicker again, Lucas Havrasik, right? How about that guy? Made all 5 of his kicks, including a franchise record 61-yard field goal as time expired in the first half. That was a huge kick, by the way. Really the decisive kick. That doesn't make that kick. It might have been a different story. But in a road trip where nothing seemed to be going right for the Packers, from trying to get out of the airport, we're going to ask Matthew about that here in a little bit, to a sometimes sloppy performance overall, but the Packers still flew back to Titletown with their first road victory of the season as they remain in first place. They're in first place in the NFC North standings. Up next. Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, all right? But you know who's happy? Happy Vince is back because the Packers won a game. He loves winning football games, and he loves it. As you guys all know, he loves hanging out with the football players, and we got a really special one. He's sitting right over there. He is one of our anchor guests this season. It is Green Bay Packers rookie wide receiver Matthew Golden. He's here again. We'll get him over here in a little bit. But first, I want to thank our presenting sponsors, Cellcom and Piggly Wiggly. Cellcom was built right here in Wisconsin. They cover every county, corner, and cabin road in the state. And they'll buy out your current contract and give you up to $1,100 towards a new phone when you switch. Just see Cellcom.com for details. And Piggly Wiggly is proud to support the Green Bay Packers as your local grocery store. They're committed to making a difference in the community, both on and off the field. Shop local, shop the pig. All right, let's get through this next part. It's the worst part of the show. It is when I have to introduce the other member of our Clubhouse Live crew. It is, ladies and gentlemen, and how about a loud Clubhouse Live chorus of boos? It is Chicago Bears fan, Ricardo Arguello.
That's pretty low. I expect a little more energy on that.
Look at the Matthew Golden table just glaring at you right now.
They're
wondering why you're
bit.
here. Why are you here? Why are you here?
I don't know. It's in the contracts.
What is this contract you speak of? I've
I
never
don't know.
seen
All
it.
I know is I signed my life away having to be here every Monday.
Yeah, you love it. I know you do.
Yeah,
Hey, your
so-
Bears playing good football. 4 in a row.
You know,
Wow.
I want to say I'm really happy, and I am. But, I think Torque knows here. Torque's a Bears fan right over here.
I know he is.
I think he and I both agree they can play a lot better, but you don't make excuses for W's, right? Same thing, right? It's who cares? Just get the wins.
Just get the win. That's all.
it.
That's how.
Absolutely.
That's the name of the game in the NFL. But the Packers are still in front of the Bears.
They
in the
are.
standings,
Yes, half a game.
and it
right.
will last that way throughout the regular season or throughout the entire season. But Ricardo, as I always like you to do, if you don't mind, since it is in the contract, could you please explain how the show works? Because I know we have a nice live chat going as well.
We do. That's interactive. They're already giving me things to do, like to go say hi to the bartenders for them and things like that. But yes,
There you
very
go.
interactive show. We invite your comments and questions through that live chat. It's very lively already. That can be found next to our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube video stream.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm monitoring that chat, as you well know, so I'll get any questions or comments over to you and Matthew.
Please send us some questions. It's always fun when we hear from the online chatters, all right? Twitter, at PC Bretzi, at Ricardo DeLeon, at Matthew Golden _. And as always, please give us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/Clubhouse Live, and our Packers News Facebook page as well. All right, Matthew, Steelers welcome mats there for you, right? You know what to do. You've been here before. We want some good karma going into that big Sunday night showdown against the former MVP quarterback,
And
right?
former guest of the show.
And very friend of the show. So here we go. Tonight's guest, he's in his rookie NFL season. He was selected by the Packers in the first round of this past spring's NFL draft.
He's ready to go, Brett.
He's
Look at
ready.
him.
Just wait, Matthew. Just wait. He became the first wide receiver selected by the Packers in the first round since Javon Walker in 2002. He's appeared in all 6 games so far this season, 18 catches, 249 yards with more to come. He entered Sunday's action ranked 3rd among NFL rookie wide receivers in average scrimmage yards per game at 51.4. He has excellent hands, excellent speed. He has made an excellent debut already as our anchor guest, and he has made the number 0 look pretty cool, right? Everybody wants that number 0 jersey. How about a big Clubhouse Live welcome for the rookie? It's number 0, Matthew Golden. Got to work on those hugs there, Matthew. I got all those hugs. I'm not a hugger. All right, I'm not a hugger.
Hey, just be happy he didn't abuse you like the Steelers.
Yeah,
welcome
no
mat
kidding.
there.
Wow. We have to get a new welcome mat, huh? New welcome mat. Good thing they only play the Steelers every 4 years. So a couple things real quick before we get started. Programming note, as always, I will announce next week's guest at the end of the show. And check this out, Matthew. We will be giving away these Miller Lite deck tickets for the November 2nd Packers-Panthers game at Lambeau Field. We are giving these away at the end of next week's show. Okay, you must be present. You must be present to register and win those tickets. That's always a big, big, big giveaway. So we're looking forward to that. And we'll announce next week's guest here in a little bit. But welcome back, Matthew Golden. Huh? How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Look at this energy. Another big crowd to see you.
Yeah.
Right? They're here to see you. What do you have to... There you go. Somebody out there really wants to see you. What do you think about that?
Man, I'm glad to be back. Man, how y'all doing?
Yeah. How are you? How are you feeling today? Huh? Feeling pretty good after a win? Bumps and bruises, sore, a little achy, or are you feeling pretty good, ready to play again?
I'm ready to play again. I feel pretty good. Obviously we got the win. That's what we needed. But now it's time to flip the page and get back to the next team. So.
Now, before we get going, have we met these folks here? Are there some new faces at your VIP table, or are they kind of the same crew here?
Same crew. Yeah,
same crew. Just introduce them again. Get them on camera. Get them on
right,
camera.
I got my girlfriend right here. Her name is Devin.
Yep, there she is.
I got Jenna. She make everything happen for me. And then I got my 2 brothers, George and JoJo.
Yes, there they are. The golden table. Are you and they enjoying this nice, crisp fall weather? Huh? How do you like that, Houston guy? How do you like this weather so far? Huh?
I'm getting used to it. Yeah, I'm definitely getting used to it.
Used to it? This is nothing. Just wait. Just wait for that Sub-Zero game, right? Yes, it's going to happen.
I ain't got no choice.
Are you wearing sleeves on those bitter cold days, or Matthew, are you keeping with Packers wide receiver tradition and going sleeveless for those?
Yeah, I'm wearing sleeves, man. I got to. I got to.
There's no questions asked,
Yeah,
huh?
no question.
Now, what if Romeo Dobbs comes up to you and says, rookie, you're going sleeveless?
They can be cold. I'm gonna be warm. So.
Yeah. Ricardo, I never understood that. I mean, you know they're freezing cold when they're going sleeveless. You're not fooling anybody when it's minus 25 outside and there's a foot of snow out there.
Well, you'll still wear shorts when it's December, so I don't know. You kind of do the same thing.
I'm in pain. This is a little cold for me as a Wisconsin guy, but I think my shorts days are done based on the forecast. But what's the coldest game you've ever played in?
20 degrees.
That's balmy around here. Are you kidding me?
That's spring weather.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
in March we get those days. We are in shorts and T-shirts. Yeah, you don't have to wear sleeves for that game. Have you ever operated a snowblower, Matthew Golden?
Never.
Do you know what a snowblower is?
Not in Houston. Yeah, not in Houston. So we don't have that in Houston.
Are you gonna try it this winter at your place? You're gonna fire that thing up in the middle of the night and just start clearing driveways and sidewalks?
I might have to. So.
Yes. Get that Wisconsin experience here in the wintertime. I think we're frightening the poor guy here. Maybe we should move on to something else.
Don't fire it up in the middle of the night. That's how you make enemies of your neighbors, Brett.
At 3 a.m, don't do that.
Man.
You know what you do have to do though? You do have to learn how to drive in the snow. Right? It's a little tricky out there, a little slippery.
Yeah.
Kind of pump on the brakes as you're sliding through the intersection. Don't just slam on the brakes and you'll start fishtailing it. Just kind of give you some tips.
I need all that. Appreciate it.
Maybe you'll just get an Uber to the stadium and back, right there and back. So I'm sure you'll be fine. But do you feel like you've acclimated yourself to Green Bay well now? I mean, we haven't seen you in a month, but I guess how's the experience going? Are you able to do things? Are they leaving you alone? Can you go to the restaurant? Can you go to the grocery store? Can you go to the movie theater? I mean, can you do things like a normal guy usually?
Not really. But
so they're people.
No, they made it feel like home.
Okay.
Just being here. Obviously it's a lot of great energy. And for me, being so far away from home, I try to go fishing sometimes. Try to go bowling. Just do things to get my mind off of football. For me, I feel like that's where it all takes place. Just for a mentally standpoint. Just so I can be able to go out there and play. So, whenever I do get free time, I just try to relax and just try to get around the city as much as I can.
I know you like to fish. We talked about it. You and Baron Sorrell have this dispute going on between fishing, but ice fishing, Matthew Golden, huh? Ice fishing, go on a frozen lake, drill a hole with that auger and just stare at a hole, all right, and waiting for some fish to come through. Are you down for that?
I don't think I could do that.
No?
I don't think I could do that. Sitting in cold weather, I'm not a big fan.
Does that sound like fun? No, not at all. You kidding me? That doesn't sound like fun either. So I wanted to ask you this before we'll talk about yesterday's game and all that stuff, the season so far a little bit later on in the show, but I didn't bring this up the first time you were on, but is it true your sophomore season in high school, your very first varsity game, you caught 4 touchdown passes in your very first varsity high school football game?
Yeah,
True or false?
That's true.
Wow, Ricardo. We cover a lot of high school too.
Yeah, usually you catch 4 touchdowns in a season. That's a pretty good season for you on the varsity.
Stand out. I got it right here. Kane High School, right? Klein, Texas.
Yeah, Klein, Texas.
Tell me about that game. 4 touchdown passes. What do you like?
I don't really remember too much. I just know that was my first varsity game, and I feel like I had a lot to prove to everybody. So I went out there confident, and just had a lot of fun, and then ended the game with 4 touchdowns and over 100-some yards.
You started doing a little talking out there to the upperclassmen as you're scoring all those touchdowns?
Yeah,
let them know who you are?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
right?
I had to.
Like, who's this young kid? He's showing us up. So tell us a little bit about growing up in, well, you Klein, right? But you grew up in, was it Corville? Is that how you say it? Yeah, just tell me about growing up in Texas. Football was a big deal, right? High school football and just the whole that atmosphere.
Definitely a lot of heat. It's hot outside, but I always grew up playing football. That was my favorite sport, and I was always around the ball. Just always trying to find something to do outside as a little kid. Just being around my uncle. I'm the only child on my mom's side, and before my great grandmother died, she always wanted one of her grandchildren to make it to the NFL. So for me, at a young age, I knew it was something that I wanted to do for myself and more so my family. So ever since then, you know, it's always been for me, it was always making it here. And, you know, I've always had my why, and now I'm here, so.
He's here, right? He's here. Already making noise. That's you grew up in the suburb of Houston, right? The Houston area.
Yeah, Houston area.
Grew up a big Houston Texans fan, I
Yeah,
assume.
Houston and Dallas. Yeah, Houston and Dallas.
J.J. Watt, right?
Yeah,
He's a
JJ.
Wisconsin guy.
Yeah.
Huh?
Andre Johnson, you know,
Yeah.
those guys.
That's right. Some really good players back in the day. So when did you know, Matthew, that you were kind of above and beyond the typical athlete? Was it middle school? Was it high school?
Yeah.
When did you realize that? Yeah, I got some talent here that these other guys don't.
I would say it probably started back when I was young, probably around 6, 7.
Oh wow.
Not really that. I used to always play with, you know, my uncle, and my uncle was probably like 10 years older than me, and my grandma was staying in these apartments in Greens Point, and you know, my uncle would always take me with him, and it was just one day I decided to go with him. I was always at home, so I went with him, and you know, they was playing tackle football in the back of the neighborhood, and you know, it was one day he just told me to go out for a pass, and he threw the ball around like 70 yards, and I went and caught it. And you know, since that day, you know, he always told me he seen something in me. He knew I was gonna be special, and you know, I feel like for me, that's where football always started for me.
When did you know you were really, 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 really fast? Same time?
Yeah, I'd probably say the same time. But
6 years old and you already burned past people.
Yeah, I was always competitive as a kid. You know, I always wanted to be the best. I always wanted to win. And you know, I hated losing. So I feel like for me, that competitive mindset for me always started when I was a younger kid. And you know, I feel like it really paved the way for me now, and it got me here.
So not only did you catch 4 touchdown passes in your first varsity high school football game, but check this out. Is this true? You completed the only pass you ever attempted in high school. It was a 43-yard bomb on a trick play in a state playoff game.
That I don't remember, but I want to say it's true.
Okay, well, why not?
No.
It must be.
Yeah.
I saw it online, Matthew. That's where I got it from.
Okay, then, yeah,
right?
it's true then. It's true.
Yeah, of course.
I don't remember it, but you know, I had a lot of plays in high school, so it's probably at the bottom of the list.
Well, if you're showing off your arm, maybe you kind of tap Jordan sometimes. Say, hey, move over, Jordan. I got this play. I'll take a snap or two.
Look, whenever it happened, I'm gonna be ready.
He's ready for it. I like the confidence. So yeah, absolutely. Read that you kind of mentioned it. You had a dream of playing, the family dream was for you to play football, right? But you had a dream as a 10-year-old. I again, reading, doing my research on you of playing in the league. Why was it football? What was it football? Because you like basketball too, right? You like all sports, but what drew you most to football?
You know, for me, I knew I wasn't gonna be, you know, 6'3", 6'4", tall enough to play basketball. But football for me, I just felt like it was just for me. Like, I couldn't really explain the feeling. Like, it's just, you know, when you're on the field, you know, it's just something you can't describe. And I knew for me when I started playing Little League and, you know, I was starting to make a lot of plays, I just fell in love with the game. You know, I knew at the same time, I knew what football could do for me and my family. And, you know, that's also my favorite sport. I had fun playing, so.
I wanted to ask, you know, we kind of asked this of many of our guests, but how did you make it happen, right? You know, it's not just because you have the talent to do it doesn't mean you're guaranteed you're going to make it.
Yeah.
So how did you make sure that you got yourself to where you are now as a first-round draft pick and a guy that's on the verge of really breaking out and having an outstanding run here?
No, I definitely say it wasn't easy. You know, went through a lot of adversity as a kid. I didn't. You know, there was times I wanted to give up, and you know, I always had, you know, my people in my corner, and the most was, you know, God. You know, I always talk to God. But I just feel like for me, with everything you go through in life, you know, it really just taught me you just can't give up on the things that you love. And I knew, like I said, I knew what football could do for me, and you know, I wasn't gonna let anything get in the way of stopping me from getting there. And that's why, you know, I feel like for me, I just dug real deep during the times that I wanted to give up, and I always look back at, you know, how things could go, and I just went from there.
He went from there, and here he is, first-round draft pick, doing some good stuff with the Pack. A couple more questions, Ricardo. Then it's audience questions time. I'll kick it over to you, but seen this as well, and I don't know if some folks have probably read about it, others not. Maybe this will be the first time hearing the story, but you wanted or still want to buy back your family house, right? Was it built by your great-grandfather?
Yeah, my great-grandfather.
Have you been able to do that yet, or are you still kind of working on that? That's kind of the dream, to kind of bring back some very important things from your family and give it back to your family, right?
Yeah,
starting with the house.
I got that done probably like 3 months ago.
Oh, you did? Wow.
Yeah, you know, it was a little process, but that was the house I grew up in. You know, my mom and grandma grew up in when I was a kid, and we ended up losing the property. And that was the time, you know, after that, you know, we was without a home, and, you know, that's when we really struggled and, you know, had to find a way. And, I mean, it's just, that's probably like the best feeling of just knowing that I could have did something so special for my family, and I got it done. So for me, you know, that was a big milestone for me.
And that was built by your great-grandfather?
Yeah, my great-grandfather.
How about that, huh? Isn't that great? Now, I'm sure you're going to kind of gussy it up, though, right? Kind of put your touches on the house, a little decorating stuff, maybe your man cave in there, huh?
I wanted to feel just like it felt, you know, when my family grew up in it. So, you know, I left it as it was, and, you know, however my grandma wanted the house, you know, I let her pick, and that was really it.
Fantastic. That's great stuff. So, does it still feel surreal that you're doing this? That you're in the NFL? That your first-round draft pick? Are you still pinching yourself from time to time, or is that feeling kind of worn off now?
Yeah, it's feeling worn off. But I never forget, you know, the day I got drafted, because, you know, I put in so much work to get here. So that'll definitely be a memory for me. But now, you know, it's about just creating my own legacy and, you know, creating that path for myself. So, you know, for me, I'm just focusing on putting my best foot forward each and every day, and just trying to get better.
Did you ever have, as a rookie, though, especially when you first kind of got going, some starstruck moments, right? Because, come on, you're watching these guys on TV. We used to have guys on here, and they'd be like, oh, my gosh, that's Aaron Rodgers in the locker room now. I'm teammates with him. Did you have any of those moments like that, maybe opponents or teammates, where you're like, whoa, I can't believe Jordan Love's my quarterback now, or Josh Jacobs is my teammate? You have any of those?
I would say definitely just realizing that I'm playing with Jay Love, you know. From a quarterback standpoint, it's not a lot of quarterbacks that can throw the ball the way he does. And, you know, when I first got into the NFL, you know, that's when I realized, you know, it was a real deal, because no matter where I am on the field, somehow the ball is close to me, and it's somewhere I can catch it. And, you know, coming back towards high school, you know, it's just different. So I knew I was in a position where I was around some real guys, and, you know, I kind of just took it all in at once, and just went from there.
And how about Matthew Golden getting through that first segment? He's a natural at this. All right, Matthew, I'm going to take a little time out, because we have some very special guests who have some questions, right, Ricardo?
That's right. We have 3 representatives from the Neenah girls tennis team, state-bound, and all of them have questions for Matthew. Evelyn Buss, she is up first. Go ahead, Evelyn.
I was just wondering what some of your game day rituals are.
Game day rituals, you know, I pray. I definitely pray. I pray with my girlfriend's dad, you know, before every game. And, you know, for me, I feel like that kind of just sets the foundation for my day, and, you know, how I want the game to go. So, you know, that's I would say the biggest ritual I do.
Okay, thank you, Evelyn. Now we need Ella. Thank you, Evelyn. This is Ella Mato, also from for Neenah Tennis. What is your question for Matthew?
What was it like to be picked first round of the NFL draft?
It was you know, it was a crazy experience for me. It was definitely, you know, the best experience of my life. You know, just being able to get drafted. You know, not too many people can get drafted, and it's probably, you know, it's a real smart percentage, and, you know, God gave me the ability to get drafted, and now I'm here. So, you know, I definitely say that's it.
All right, thank you, Ella. Now we have one more question. This is Sydney Mickelkevich. Sydney, your question for Matthew.
What's been the biggest difference from college to the NFL?
The biggest difference, I would just say, probably, you know, just the speed of the game, and, you know, just the small details that matter. You know, I feel like it's the real small things that can separate you from other people, and I feel like as long as you got those tools, you know, I feel like it'll help you separate from others.
All right, great questions.
Great
from the
questions.
girls.
Yeah,
Good
thank
job,
you.
Sid.
Thank you, Nina Tennis. Great job, Matthew, on the
job,
answers. And we'll stick with this timeout because it is time for tonight's stat pack. Maybe some of you have seen this as weird, but it's an odd stat. Don't know if you're aware of this, but the Packers, Ricardo, have scored 27 points in each of their 4 victories this season. 27 points in each of their 4 victories, right? So the blueprint has been established, Matthew. All you have to do is just score 27 points, nothing more, nothing less, and you're going to win the football game, right? It's that simple.
Yeah.
The NFL is simple, Ricardo. That's how you have to do it. You know what else is simple? Trivia tonight, Ricardo. How does that work?
That's right. It's simple because of the rules. First off, we'll ask a question. If you think you know the answer, you got to raise your hand. Don't shout it out and help somebody else. If you're correct, you win what, Brad?
We got some a great bobblehead from the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, Wisconsin Frozen Pizzas bobblehead, right? Or this great Wisconsin Timber Rattlers jersey/shirt. Again, thanks to the T-Rats for that.
But sorry, you got to be here to win, right, Brett? So, and once you win, you're out for the rest of the show.
All right, so Matthew, I'll ask a question. As always, you have to check out and see who raises his or her hand first, okay?
Gotcha.
Trivia question number 1. We mentioned Lucas Haversick's franchise record 61-yard field goal to end the first half. That proved to be a key kick in helping the Packers take down the Cardinals, who had held the Packers record for longest field goal in a game. Right here? Yeah, that's an easy one. Come on up, Mason Crosby. She gets the bell. I'll let you pick your prize, and maybe, maybe I should give you the microphone, and you can take over the show, right? Mason Crosby, a 58-yard field goal back in 2011. Haversick has been perfect since taking over the kicking duties from the injured Brandon McManus. Maybe we'll talk about him in a little bit. But
hey, Brett.
Yeah.
I do have a question from online.
Please,
I just think
go
it's
ahead.
kind of unique. It's Iowa Joe. He wants to ask Matthew, what's the weirdest thing someone has asked you to autograph? Now, be careful here.
Did we? We might have talked about this, right? But maybe he didn't hear.
Yeah. So the weirdest thing, anything strange that you had to autograph?
A baby?
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, that's
the
what
baby.
it was. Okay.
Yeah.
A baby. Evan said the same thing, and then Matthew told us that last time, too. I'm wondering if it was the same baby.
Wait, yeah. And does the baby still have the autograph?
Does the baby have autographs all over its poor body? I mean, what happened to this baby? Can we see a picture of the baby if you're watching the show? Send it to us, please. So, all right. Hey, Rosie, it's time to unveil tonight's Clubhouse Live GIF of the night. Who do we have up there? Oh, look at that guy. Whoa. How about a big round of applause for that guy and his performance? Yeah. Micah Parsons, perhaps the star of the show yesterday, huh, Matthew? What are your thoughts on watching what he did? He kind of took over after a while. He's a one-man wrecking crew out there.
That guy different for sure. It's not too much, I can say. It's really crazy, just watching him play in person. But his work ethic is crazy. How he approaches the game is crazy. Like, I feel like he's a true NFL pro, and Barron got a great guy to look up to, so Barron always talked to me about, just being around Michael, how he is as a person, and it's exciting watching him play.
Are you actually watching it as it's happened, or are you kind of involved with what you got to do, or can you take a peek and say, holy smokes, look at this guy take over?
Yeah, I take a peek, just it's
have
like
to.
every time I look, he's making a play or he's doing something crazy off the line. So, it's crazy. So
it was, and he took over and really helped seal the victory for you guys. Obviously, when you guys did your part as well, for sure. But Matthew, what in the world happened to your airplane? What happened to your airplane on Saturday? What's the story here? 5.5 hour delay?
Yeah.
You're just sitting at the airport in Green Bay?
Crazy.
What are you doing? Playing cards, dominoes, eating pizzas? What's going on there?
Everything you just said, we was doing that. I don't know what happened to the plane, but I just know we was at the airport all day. Had to wait for another plane to come and just a whole bunch of waiting. Like, that's the first time ever in my life I had to wait at an airport that long, man. So
I'm guessing, though, nobody really wanted to climb onto that plane, right? As it was probably more than happy to wait for another workable plane, something that's more airworthy. But, well, how did you pass the time? I mean, Matt LaFleur said it was kind of cool. You guys just seem to enjoy each other's company. You're watching football. And
we played games, played dice games, played card games, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
So you actually, though, did some walkthroughs on the tarmac at the
we
airport?
did.
What? How is that? Ricardo, isn't that dangerous? Aren't there planes taxiing and going back and forth?
Everything stops for the Packers, Brett.
I
in
guess
Green
so.
Bay.
They
know
just
that.
stopped the air travel.
Yeah, we usually do walkthroughs like once we get to the hotel, but we knew we was gonna get back late, and Coach LaFleur asked, "I want to do walkthrough," so everybody got off the plane, and we did walkthrough outside.
Can you imagine, like, planes taxiing and they're just watching the Packers doing walkthroughs right next to the wing as it's going right by? Yeah. Hey, there's Jordan Love. There's Matthew Golden. That's just weird. So what was it like when you finally got in? You guys had to be zonked, right? You just went right to the hotel and right to bed.
Yeah. Once we got back, I think everybody went to their room, and everybody was just tired, so we ended up going to sleep.
Well, I'll tell you what, even though with the weirdness of the air travel, you went to Arizona, got the job done. It might have been a sloppy game, but like we were saying, a win is a win. It doesn't matter how you get them. What did you see with the offense as you look back on it? Some things that pleased you, excited you, and some things, again, that say, we got to clean this up. We got to do better here.
Obviously, it's hard to win in the NFL, for one. And for two, you can never play a perfect game. Like, that's just how football is. But I know we all came together when it mattered, and for us, we came out and got the win. But, as far as offense, I would just say we just got to get back to the drawing board. But obviously, we left some plays out there, and I feel like we're going to have another good week of practice, and this next upcoming game will be better as an offense.
What was the difference for you guys between the first half and the second half? First half, you couldn't really get things going. Second half, you got some points. You got some touchdowns.
Just come back in halftime, just understanding what we were doing good at, what was open for us, and, kind of just, for us, give Josh Jacobs the ball. And, whenever that guy's going, he's going. And, that's where we went from there.
Doesn't matter if he's sick, throwing up, has a bad calf, right? It just seems like he thrives. It doesn't matter for Josh Jacobs. Well, Malik Heath, one of your buddies, he was here a couple weeks ago, the fellow wide receiver, and we asked him the same thing because it was kind of the same situation from the game that he was following when he was on the show. But so you guys are down by 3, 5:51 remaining, and it's pretty much now or never, right? So you got to score at the very least a field goal, but ideally a touchdown. What's going on in the huddle? I want to get your viewpoint, your vantage point. What's Jordan Love saying? What are you guys saying? What are you thinking? Because it's crunch time, and you got to get something done.
No, we just feel like for us as an offense, everybody in the huddle, we kept our composure. First off, we knew we needed to go down there and score. Jay Love told us that, and I feel like we all came together as a group and got that done. We work those things in practice all the time, so I feel like for us it was nothing we couldn't handle or something new. So all we had to do was just be confident in what we were doing and go out there and execute.
So then it gets really dicey. There's fourth down, fourth and 2. Yeah, I've got it right here. 4th and 2. At first, it looks like you guys are coming off the field, and Matt LaFleur is going to send the kicker out, kick the field goal. He said that Jordan Love kind of had a very disdain look on his face, and that sort of changed LaFleur's mind. Burns a timeout. Then you guys are out there. You're on the field for the 4th and 2 play. Take us through that. You're out. I think you were kind of running like a quick, almost like an out route, right, to the sideline. I don't know if you were trying to get the defense more of a passing lane for Tucker Kraft if he was the primary read. But just take us through that play because it was the play of the game, 15-yarder to Tucker Kraft to keep that drive going.
I feel like we all got the utmost confidence in our offense, and obviously Coach LaFleur seen J Love, and he changed his mind, and we went out there as an offense, and we knew we can go out there and convert. And the play call we had on was perfect because whether the corner was off or on, and depending on where that back safety was, we had two options, and corner was down, and Tuck made a great play, and Jordan threw a great ball to him. So I feel like that play right there, kind of iced the game, and we got it done.
Kept the drive going, right? And next thing you know, Jacobs was scoring a touchdown and makes it a 4-point game, so the Cardinals can't. They need a touchdown, and that's when Micah Parsons takes over. So, and then you're also, this was another key moment in the game right at the end of the first half. Love hits Romeo Doubs on a 22-yarder.
Yep.
Get the timeout with 1 second to go, and here's your no-name kicker that everybody's now knowing. Just boots a franchise record 61-yarder. Those are 3 big points. Take us through that. I guess you got to love the aggressiveness that you guys are playing with, not only to the throw to Kraft, but LaFleur's saying, no, we're going to try to put something here on the board and go into the half with some momentum.
I mean, for him to come in and what was it? Was it 58-yarder or 61-yarder?
He had 61.
61-yarder. For him to come in and do that, obviously he got a lot of confidence in himself. And what's crazy is I heard that before he got a call, he was thinking about being a teacher. And, that just go back to just thinking about, like, whenever your number's called and whenever you do get the opportunity, it's just about what you're going to do with it. And I feel like for him, he's capitalizing on something that, he's been having a dream of doing his whole life. So I feel like for me, I always got faith in God. I feel like God put him exactly where he wanted, and, he took full responsibility and went out there and did what he could. Yeah,
those 3 big points. You don't have those 3 points, who knows how the game plays out. And then, again, a great throw and catch. Love to Dobbs to set that up. Wasn't a whole lot of time on the clock to make it happen as well. So we mentioned Haversick, so all the guy has done is come in and nail kick after kick these last 2 weeks. Let's talk about you. 18 catches on 23 targets. How about that, right? Basically, almost every target, this guy's catching a pass. You entered Sunday's action. You were coming off really 3 nice games in which you had 52, 58, and then 86 yards receiving against the Bengals. And is it me? This guy's on the verge, right? He's on the cusp. It's right there. You're going to have one of those 2-touchdown, 120-yard games, right? You're probably sprinting into the end zone, showing off your speed. Does it feel like you're almost there? You're ready for that breakout game?
I'm always ready.
We've learned that about you, yes.
I'm always ready. It's just go back to, whenever you get your opportunity, just make the most of it. I feel like for me, that's what I've been doing, and whatever opportunity I get, I'm gonna make the most of it.
Do you feel like it's close though? Like you're ready to have that monster game, right?
Yeah. I feel like whenever it's ready to happen, it's gonna happen. I'm not forcing it. I'm just. First off, we winning, so, that's all that matters. And then, for me, whenever it's happening, it's going to happen, I feel like, man. So.
Well, you said it. I have it right on the script. You can't force it, and that's what you just said. But how do you stay patient? How do you stay patient knowing it'll come? Because it's tough to be a rookie wide receiver in the NFL, but it looks like you're processing things fast. It's coming quickly. So aren't you getting a little antsy, kind of saying, hey, give me about 12 targets a game, coach. Come on, I'm ready for this stuff.
Patience. Patience will take you a long way, and I learned that through life. As long as you're patient, as long as you stay ready, and just be ready when your number's called. For me, I've always been ready, and I kind of just, always dealt with stuff through college, high school, just having to be patient. So, this is nothing new, and, I'm just excited to be on a good team. A great brotherhood, and I'm just excited for what we could do.
Yeah, you guys are excited too, right? It's close. It's this close. A few more things, and Ricardo, I'm going to kick it back to you for the social media question of the night. But I found this great quote online from your former college coach, not Texas, Sark, right? Steve Sarkisian, and he was talking about you becoming a playmaker with the Longhorns in your 1 season with them last season. I think this was in January. It must have been going into the college football playoffs and stuff. But he said, quote, about you earn trust with consistency and time. I think there's a level of consistency in Matthew's game that he's earned a lot of trust from myself and Quinn Ewers, the quarterback then for Texas. He's with the Dolphins now, I believe, right? that in a lot of critical moments it's easy to try to find him because you know he's going to be in the right spot. You know he's going to be completely tough and make those plays, end quote. So big thing, consistency and time. I'm curious how you've gone about building that trust with Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur, so you get those moments that you're speaking of, that those opportunities continue to come your way.
It started in practice, definitely. Just building that chemistry with Jordan, being on the same page with him. And, I try to talk to him as much as I can. Kind of just try to pick his brain on some of the stuff I'm seeing and what he's seeing. And you can definitely tell, like in crucial situations, I'm right there where I need to be. And Jordan, keep throwing great balls to me. But, for me, it's just about being where I need to be at the right time. And, I'm going to continue to do that.
I think so. Again, you can just see that the continuity, consistency, trust, all that stuff building with Matthew and the offense. So one more thing. Now, I know last time you were here last month, you said Romeo Dobbs has kind of taken you under his wing a little bit as kind of the leader of that wide receiver room. Yeah. But I'm kind of curious what you've taken from some of the other leaders on the offense. And let's start with the quarterback. What have you taken from a guy like Jordan Love now that you're kind of, almost 2 months into the season and got your feet wet for yourself?
It was kind of hard because he's a quarterback, but just obviously just, watching him, how he approaches the game and just how overall, he's a leader on and off the field. I feel like that's where it starts for, most teams. He carries himself the right way, and it's always team first with Jordan. But for me, it's just looking at the vets that I got around me, obviously, coming in as a rookie, trying to make the process easier for myself, and, just taking what I can from that.
How about Josh Jacobs, watching him and his leadership style, right? Again, not the same position, but I'm sure there's things you can grab from watching him, how he goes about his business.
Out of all of them, I'll probably say Josh. Josh was the first guy that, probably took me under his wing when I got to Green Bay. He's always been on me. He just wants to see the best out of me. But being able to watch a guy like that come in and compete each and every day, regardless of how he's feeling, I just feel like he attacks the game, the right way, and you could tell, how much success he's having on the field.
Last one, Tucker Kraft, friend of the show. He's kind of a goofy guy, isn't he? Right?
But Tuck funny.
But he's a stud, right? Yeah. He brings a leadership style as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a stand-up guy. Somebody you can count on. He always gonna be there for you. He funny, man. He'll make you laugh on the days you probably don't feel like laughing. That's kind of what you need to kind of get going. And I feel like Tuck brings that energy to our team.
Yeah, good stuff. How about Matthew Golden again? Yeah. All right, Ricardo, I think it's your turn according to my script. It's time for tonight's Clubhouse Live social media question of the night.
Yes, it comes from Chad Blumenshine on Facebook. He wants to know this about Matthew. It has become pretty common for NFL players to swap jerseys after a game. Which active player or players in the NFL would you like to swap jerseys with?
I would probably say Jade Barron, a guy from Texas that I went to school with. And, I feel like from that standpoint, it's just because, we every day, talked about getting drafted in the first round. It was probably times like during the season, things weren't going our way. And, you're going to get frustrated at times. I feel like, and for me, me and him always talked about what we wanted to accomplish. And we both got it done. We trained together in Dallas for the combine, and, we always competed. And so, I feel like, that's just kind of like having a guy that you can count on, or a guy that you can talk to through anything, and, somebody that went through the same things you went through. So I'd probably say him.
Great question, or great answer, great question. Thank you, Chad, for having his question selected. Chad wins a signed photo. Each week, we'll ask you to submit a question for our guest that we'll ask live during the show. Look for it every Sunday night, I guess, on Facebook.com/Clubhouse Live. Trivia question number 2, Ricardo, you are asking this time.
That's right. I need both you and Matthew to look out into the crowd to see who raises their hand first. Here we go. Up next for the Packers, Sunday night showdown against the Steelers. Green Bay and Pittsburgh hooked up in what proved to be a memorable matchup at Lambeau in 1992, a game that the Packers won 17-3. The highlight was when then quarterback Brett Favre connected with this wide receiver on a 76-yard touchdown pass. Hint. Well, first off, it was against Rod Woodson, if you remember that, Brett.
I remember it vividly, yes.
Yes, and he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Just get up here. Sterling Sharp is correct. Yeah. Gets the bell. You get the jersey. You can meet Matthew Golden. Sterling Sharp, Ricardo. The TD connection between Favre and Sharp came in the second quarter, gave the Packers a 10-3 lead on a sunny afternoon at Lambeau Field. Favre also hit Robert Brooks. There's another blast from the past on an 8-yard touchdown toss. The game was notable, Ricardo, because it was the very first start of Favre's NFL career, and he would go on to start a record 297 straight regular season games. I remember that game vividly. All right, Rosie, here we go. It's time. We need some music because it's time for tonight's Clubhouse Live Challenge. Here we go. This is sponsored by Munoz Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, your center for dental excellence, voted Reader's Choice Best Dentist, Best of the Bay 3 times. Let Dr. Sebastian and his team of professionals help you achieve your dream smile. All right, we need Scott Balin, we need Tom Whitsock, and we need Coach Grassel up here. Let's go. All right, Scott, you're with Matthew here. Let me kind of move over here to the side. Tom and Coach, you guys are on this side. Bill, you want them right in front of the camera here, right? We'll start right here. So this is what we're going to do. We do this every year, guys. This is a game we call I Want My Mummy, all right? I Want My Mummy. So it's October. Halloween is coming. And what we like to do, we're going to spook things up as we always do and play one of our favorite games. The object of this game is simple. Using these streamers, orange and black, you have 45 seconds. Ricardo, you'll keep track to wrap your playing partner as a mummy, all right?
He wrapping me, I'm wrapping him.
It's up to you guys on how you want to do it. If you want to wrap, and it's up to you guys on who wants to wrap who up first, all right? 45 seconds. You have to move fast, but move carefully, please. We don't want anybody spinning around and getting dizzy here. Now, the best-looking mummy will be voted upon by our audience based on their applause. The mummy with the loudest cheer wins. Now, here's what we have. The winner goes home tonight, so it's either going to be you, Tom, because Coach, we got to make sure Coach isn't winning prizes, right, Ricardo? We got to, the WIA thing. He's just partaking.
Yes.
So this is for Tom, and then Scott. So you can either go home with this really cool Packers hat from artist Zane Stotts, I think. A signed photo of Matthew Golden right here. A Packers can koozie courtesy of our friends with Miller Lite. And a USA Today Network Wisconsin Frisbee. The runner-up gets to go home with everything except the hat. Now, let me mention something quickly about the hat. Zane Stotts, am I saying that right, Mike? Zane Stotts. He is the artist who brought color and creativity to the heart of Green Bay, from the murals outside Lambeau to custom cleats worn on the field. Check out these exclusive design hats from his store at www.zane.store. So there you go. Thank you, Zane. So, okay. Do we know who's doing the mummy wrapping? Now, okay, now let me just, I want to just, Matthew, don't spin around, please. We don't want you falling backwards and goofy stuff happening. You guys, we don't care, all right, whatever happens. He is the very expensive professional athlete with a lot of talent, okay? So we want him to be ready for Sunday's game. So who thinks Matthew and Scott are going to win the game? Who thinks Coach Grassel and Tom are going to win the game? Now, you guys are at a bit of a disadvantage here, so let's be fair about this. So, Ricardo, are you keeping track? 45 seconds? Okay, let's count it down, and let's cheer. 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go. Cheer them on, everybody. And Ricardo, kind of keep track, or let us know where we're at with the time, please. Here we go.
30 seconds.
30 seconds to go, folks. 30 seconds. And remember, you have as many streamers as you need. How we doing, Ricardo?
15 seconds.
15 seconds, everybody. And Ricardo, you'll count it down, right?
10.
Here we go.
9, 8.
Here we go.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time.
Streamers down. Streamers down. Now let's give these guys a round of applause, first of all. Ricardo, they did well. And nobody got sick. There's no reversal of fortunes going or anything like that, so we're good. So let's vote for who thinks Coach and Tom win tonight? All right, now the applause has been set. Who thinks Scott and Matthew win tonight?
Ooh.
Ricardo, the decibels were just a tad louder for Scott and Matthew Golden tonight. They win the night's challenge. Yes. Scott, as long as you're up here, you can grab your stuff. And Rosie, how about some championship music for tonight's contestants? There you go. Yep, you're welcome. Tom, Coach, you guys did well. I mean, that was as close as it comes. We'll just leave it there. We'll clean stuff up a little bit later on. Yeah, give them another round of applause, huh? Oh, yes. Matthew, I bet
Come on, Tom, rip it off. There you go.
Tom, we're trying to do a show here. Let's go. All right, thank you. Matthew, I bet you never thought you'd be doing that when you woke up this morning, huh?
Never.
Yeah? You just never know what's going to happen on Clubhouse Live. So thank you for being a good sport, and the fans backed you up.
Yep.
It was a little bit louder for these guys. There's no doubt about it. So, hey, Ricardo, we want to cheer some more. We have tonight's high school team spotlight. Introduce us to members of the state-bound Neenah girls tennis team. Let's hear all about the Rockets.
Let's stand up, everyone. The players and the coaches, please stand up. Brett, hey, this is a big, big week for them. You know why? Because they're heading down to Nielsen Tennis Stadium in Madison for the Team Tennis Championships in Division I. Now, they are no strangers, Brett, to Team State Tennis. They've been there, Coach, 3 years in a row now. I was there, Brett, in 2021 when they won the whole thing. So they have championship pedigree. And they are 19-2 overall, and they are seeded number 2. So, that's a high seed. So folks are expecting them to make it to the title match. They will take on number 7 seed Verona on Friday. The semifinals and finals will be held Saturday. Again, we talked about this being the 3rd straight season. Neenah's doubles teams, and I'm going to call out a couple of girls here. Sydney Mikolkevich and Rebecca Thomas. Where are you at? Raise your hands. Oh, don't be shy. They took 5th in Division I in this past weekend's WIAA state individual meet. I believe Celia Gentile also was there, right? Where's she at? There we go. Celia, so congratulations to her. Dan Grasso, who helped out with the mummy little segment here.
Thank you,
He's
Coach.
the coach, doing a great job. I want to say, Brett, they could very well be bringing home hardware this weekend. So congratulations to Neenah Girls Tennis. Best of luck, and bring home that title.
Yes. Go Rockets. Go Rockets. That should be fun. That should be a lot of fun. Big weekends, the last weekend and this weekend.
Thank you,
Neenah.
girls.
Thank you for being here. Neenah Tennis is part of tonight's high school team spotlight. All right. We got to wind down, Matthew Golden, and get you back to Titletown so you can get ready. But we always like doing that mummy rap as part of every year we do that. One of our favorite things to do. But you a big Halloween guy? You like Halloween? You like doing that, all that dress-up stuff?
Nah, I'm not really a Halloween guy.
You know the Packers usually have a team party.
They
They
do?
usually have a team Halloween party.
I ain't hear about it.
Well, it's got to be. maybe you weren't invited, and I shouldn't have said anything. No, I'm sure you were invited, but if you have to come up with a costume, well, what are you thinking about, huh? You got to think fast. You want to bring my streamers? You can be a mummy.
Yeah, I might do that. That might be easy.
Well, that's one of the big things I know, Ricardo, that the guys sometimes when they're here on Halloween
And they're
time,
very cool costumes
yeah,
usually.
they try to get out of here. So are you a big horror movie guy? You like any of that stuff? Big candy guy?
Yeah, I got a sweet tooth. I got
Okay.
a sweet tooth, yeah.
Are you going to be handing out some trick-or-treats? If, you know,
Probably not.
Oh.
Because then people going to know where I stay. So
Why not? I was just going to say, give them your address, right? Let everybody know where you live in Green Bay, and you're handing out the big Snickers king-size candy bars, huh?
Man.
What's the candy of choice for you?
Don't say candy corn.
Ooh,
Nah.
I love
Oh,
candy
Candy
corn.
corn's horrible.
Probably, I'd probably go Snickers.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. See, Matthew and I are developing a connection here right now. We like the same candy bars. He wants to use my streamers. We're going to be hanging out here before you know it. So, well, last thing, let's get serious here. Cardinals week is done. It's in the rearview mirror. Now you have another road trip to Pittsburgh, right? Have you done much preparation? I mean, this is a big game, Sunday night game, primetime game. Everybody's going to watch you guys. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, right? That's going to be the big storyline. But maybe you'll make it your storyline and have the game of your career. But what do you know about the Pittsburgh Steelers so far, and how are you preparing for those guys?
Not too much. Coach Tomlin, he did. I had a visit with them during the draft process, so that's about it. But I know Aaron is there. But I know for us, it's just being able to go out there and come out with the win. So it just go back to preparing this week. Getting on the same page and going out there and executing.
Hopefully bring back another win, right? Keep stacking those W's. How about Matthew Golden tonight, ladies and gentlemen? All right, Ricardo, it's our turn. We are going up north, the NFC North. This is where we predict the Packers game, Packers-Steelers, Sunday night, Acrisure Stadium. Have you seen the playing surface? I think they've replaced the turf.
Horrible.
It's worse than Soldier Field.
Very bad, and that's bad.
And I think they put new turf on since. But what's your prediction? This will be a good game.
Look, listen, it hurts me to say this, but first off, I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. You know this, Brett. He physically assaulted me. Where's Cruiser? Cruiser saw it. Right, he punched me right in the rear.
He was on a show
all those years
few
ago.
times.
I haven't forgotten that, and
Ricardo,
I really
that
hope.
was 13 years ago. Let it go.
I don't let it go, man. I'm telling you right now. I hope Parsons sacks him 8 times, and he might just with that really bad Steelers offensive line, Brett. I think the Packers win. I think they embarrass Aaron Rodgers, and yes, I hold grudges, Brett. Packers
I
by
guess
a lot.
so. All right, he's picking the Pack. Well, I got to put the victory visor on, Ricardo. I agree with you. I think Green Bay wins 27-24, right? 27-24, the Packers. It's going to be another white knuckler, right? Buckle in. It's going to be fun as the Packers face their legendary former quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. He can still sling it for an old guy. He looks, he's got 14 touchdown passes or something.
He can't run anymore, though.
He can't run anymore.
No.
So that Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, those guys are licking their chops. But Jordan Love's going to have his big moments. It's going to be a carbon copy of what we saw on Sunday. It's tough to go on the road and win games, but I think Josh Jacobs, he's going to get that run game going. Love's going to continue to play efficient. He's been playing at a high level. He's going to make those key throws. Defense maybe bends a little bit, but they won't break Micah Parsons. He's going to chase down that nearly 42-year-old body, right, and drive him to the turf. That's what's going to do. It's going to be a fascinating showdown, but I think Parsons Halfley outduel Rodgers, and the Green Bay Packers improve to 5-1-1 as they score the prerequisite 27 points and make sure it's nothing more than that, okay? That's up to you, Matthew Golden. What do you guys think? You like the score? Yep. All right, Ricardo, Packers News app, right?
That's right, with exclusive commentary, insider analysis, and award-winning photos and videos from USA Today Network's Wisconsin's Packers coverage team. Brett and Matthew, that Packers News app, your one-stop shop for complete coverage of the Green Bay Packers. Unlimited digital access to the Packers News app and PackersNews.com can be yours for as low as 99 cents for the first month. That's less than the price of a Snickers bar that Matthew loves so much. Please subscribe today because we need that money.
It's about the price of our Frisbees that we give away, right? So
yeah, that's right,
99-cent Frisbees. So thanks to our sponsors and friends. First, our presenting sponsors. We have Cellcom and Piggly Wiggly. Also, Munoz Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, our segment sponsor. And thanks again, our supporting sponsors and friends. We have Shields, Escort Limousine Service, Mayfield Sports Marketing, Mike Thiel and Eric Lives Here, Miller Lite, And the great folks here with Wisconsin Timber Rattlers and the Fox Club. Programming note, next week's guest, I can announce it now. He's a friend of the show, but it's been a few years since he's been on. It's Packers linebacker Isaiah McDuffie. We're looking forward to number 58 coming in. Catch it on Monday night. Next Monday night, 6:30 p.m. here at the Fox Club. And again, another reminder, as part of next week's show, we are giving these Miller Lite deck tickets away for the November 2nd Packers-Panthers game at Lambeau Field. You must be here. You must be present to register and win, all right? So that's part of it. And I have one more programming note. We're going to see Matthew Golden again. He's going to be here on November 17th. So we're looking forward to that. How you liking? You having fun? You like being here? You having a good time?
Yeah, I like being here.
You like Ricardo? What do you think about Ricardo?
Nah, not a big fan.
No. He doesn't like you, Ricardo. You can wave, but he doesn't like you at all. So tell you what, as we go into Steelers week, you have the final word. What do you want to say to all these great Packers fans that are here tonight?
You know, we going to come together this week. We're going to compete, and, you know, we're going to come out with the win. You know, that's all that matters. So.
That's it. All right, so for Matthew, for Ricardo, and the crew at USA Today Network Wisconsin, I'm Brett Christopherson signing off. Be back here next Monday night, 6:30, right here at the Fox Club, as we celebrate a big Packers victory over the Steelers with Isaiah McDuffie, and we are giving away these tickets. Again, you must be present to register and win. In the meantime, let's hear those very special Mean Gene cheers tonight, everybody.